Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, May 16th. And yeah, I've been so busy lately. I haven't been able to do any videos. Also, I'm just kind of watching what's going on as the truth is rolling out more and more. So if you're paying attention, you're starting to realize, yeah, the truth is slowly coming out. Um, it's going to start picking up speed by summer, from what I understand, too. So, all these hidden news stories about uh, you know, political corruption and things like that. I still have to be careful what I say on this channel, as you know, but you guys kind of get where I'm getting coming from. So yeah, like all the stuff that's been kept back, it's been frustrating us for years because we're going like, wow, this like it's so obvious. Well, how come the news is not reporting on this and whatever? And it's just so finally, yeah, this stuff is going to come out. Uh, and also for me, I'm not necessarily watching what's going on Earth. Uh, this truth has to come out and it's rolling out, and basically it's going to be liberating us all again here. But from the information that I normally get is from, I'm going to sound weird again, but anyway, it's from off-world. So what's going on in this matrix, or it's almost like a holodeck. It's kind of this ongoing story, and it's been hacked, and it's been messing with everybody down here. But where I'm, the information that I get is outside of this realm, how it's affecting it. So that's why I don't usually, I don't have a lot of information to share, because quite honestly, there's a lot of, whether you call them truthers or whatever, but there's a lot of information out there that's telling you what's going on as far as planet Earth is concerned. I know I'm gonna sound crazy and everything, but I guess the best way for me to put it in perspective for you guys, especially if you follow me at all, you realize I'm always kind of holding back, my story, and I'm kind of getting more permission to say what's going on outside this realm more. It's a little bit, it's really hard to grasp because there's a bigger story behind what's going on here, and it's, again, I'll try to explain it this way. It's like spiritual classrooms and spiritual densities and levels, sort of, and the most uh, the most corruptible, I guess, the best way for me to explain it is like the third level and down. So 2D, 3D, even all the way up to pushing into 4D. And that's why everybody keeps talking about, well, we're going to be, basically being elevated to 5D. And that's true. That's kind of like where there's a kind of a firewall as far as frequencies are concerned. So, like, to get past or get above that frequency, you have to be of such high vibration that you don't have these low level beings that are trying to control the narrative and things like that. So to again try to simplify it is, we're sort of going through a grade 3 level spiritual classroom, and in order for us to experience things like this, we have made gazillions of years ago, and I'm saying we because we're all participating, we've made these physical realms to play out stories and to learn and have experiences just for our spiritual growth. So in reality, we're all having kind of spiritual growth experiences, but we're learning them through having a physical avatar and playing out different scenarios with other people and other beings and stuff like that. So that's kind of what's going on as far as the bigger level is concerned. And now how it's affected Earth and the beings on Earth. Yeah, we understand what that's like, and it's been really very negative control and things like that. So for me, I know it's gonna sound crazy and everything, but there's a lot of us, including me, that have incarnated into physical bodies into this lower level. So, and to simplify where I'm coming from is I'm a grade 9 student, and I'm coming down to grade 3 to help out. But as you can imagine, it's not as if we're above anybody. It's just I'm just an older student. That's all. And I've experienced these matrices before and these classrooms before, and I remember it's like when you come into them, it's purposeful that you have amnesia in order to play it out. So it took me a while to sort of remember it, but I'm communicating from off planet, and they're making me remember. Sort of, it's the easiest way for me to describe it. So as far as what's going on down here, yeah, the main thing that I remember coming in to do, like the main object, is for higher density beings to come in order to help stabilize a timeline. So, and also isolate it. So that's kind of where we're at now. We are on an isolated positive timeline that good entities, put it that way, higher vibrational beings have come to try to help stabilize as much as possible and to correct. And it's to get out of this corrupted classroom is what it is. It's like it's been hacked, kind of infected with negative beings, and so we're getting out of it. So for me, I came here as a lesson to learn how to do this. So this is kind of new to me too, as far as how to get a messed up world fixed. So I mean, I remember a lot of things when I came in. It's coming back to me. I remember what I mean by remember is I remember this positive timeline. If we could pull it off, the direction it was going to go. I remember what was going to happen. But again, I know I've talked about it on previous videos where higher density beings, even above us, like grade 12, grade 15 teachers. I guess in some ways what you have to understand is we are all, some people call them like ascended masters, but it's kind of true. We're all kind of ascended masters in our early stages of growth, of spiritual growth. Of this is how you learn. You have to go through these classes to have spiritual growth. So, and we're all learning different lessons too. So it's like we're all learning the same lessons. So that's what makes it kind of interesting and complex, which is kind of fun because it's like we're not all learning the same lessons. We're all learning different lessons, and we've come here for different reasons and things like that, and from all over the place too. Like this is like you can imagine this is like we're from this universe. All over the place, and that we've decided to come to this particular planet to experience its physicality and to learn lessons being a physical being on this planet. And what ends up happening is you realize this vessel that we're in, this avatar, can get messed with fairly easy if you're not careful. Especially if you're not given instructions how it works. Like this is a physical body that has to be maintained, and then it could be hacked chemically, it could be hacked psychologically, all this stuff. So that's in some ways that's kind of part of the lessons too. It's overcoming those obstacles and those big bumps in the road. If you can get through those lessons, that really adds to our experiences. So, but it's not supposed to be this bad. I mean, I can go on. I'll go on more about this in the future. So, from my perspective, being a higher density being, I'm not above anybody, as you can imagine. It's like I'm just come here. I'm just more aware, and I do remember these old lessons. So, what I've remembered to do, well, granted, ever since I came in here, I'm basically, I just don't conform, and I always question everything. So that was kind of the main thing I remember, is question everything. This is, maybe I remember, that was like one of the things I said just before I came in. It was like, remember to question everything, remember to question everything. You know, that type of thing, just so I can go, wait a minute, things are not right. And our controllers make things seem like this is the right way to run them, run countries, and how to, establish, borders and rules and stuff like that. But in reality, it's not. Earth is not supposed to be run like this. It's not. It's well, I'll go into that on another video. But I'm just saying. So from my perspective, yeah, I'm just sort of waking up, just like, okay, why am I here? So is to basically not conform at all, and that is part of doing that is establishing a ground to help stabilize this problem. Is we're the ones that are just going to question everything, and I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm basically, so that's, and I remember kind of figuring that out even in my 20s. I was like observing everything, and so instead of looking at the world of what should I do and sort of watching what people do, it was really almost about what should I not do, what is failing, and I would observe people, their behaviors and things like that, and the outcomes of their decisions. And I decided, well, a lot of people's lives were just like really messed up. So it's like, well, whatever they're doing, I'm not going to do. So, I have this life of, and that's why I've been self-employed for over 40 years. I mean, most of my life, I make my own decisions because I don't want to be in a position of having to do something because it's the way I'm supposed to do it in order to survive. In other words, I came in here realizing, even if I don't make it, I'd rather die than conform. I really would. I'd rather, it's like, well, you know what, if we're all supposed to go, poison our bodies and hurt other people, go to war, shoot people, it's like, I'm out then. I'm not going to participate in something I don't believe in. So I've kind of stuck to that rule. So that's kind of what made me also an observer too since I've come here. And since this is about 8 years ago that they've been, I'm saying they, it's like my team. Like I said, I've got an implant. They've been sending me telepathic messages and explaining these things a little bit more clearly to me, so I remember. And probably because I remember saying, okay, remember to, once I get in there, slowly wake me up and just don't give me too much information, because these bodies, especially this physical computer, this brain, can only process so much. So anyway, so it took me a while to get up to speed. So they've been kind of telling me that I'm really kind of more of an observer, and I'm not only am I gathering intel for this experience, but I'm also documenting it for future lessons. And also for my own spiritual growth, because you've got to remember, it doesn't matter what density you're from, you're still learning. Like I said, these lower lessons. I'm not saying lower lessons, but like these really basic lessons, I don't have to do them again. But also, it doesn't really matter. You can always play these games over and over and over and over again, and always get something a little different each time you play. Role play this experience out again. So for me, I've learned a lot, and also, I know this kind of sounds strange and everything, but I think I'm able to tell you more. But like I told you, I've only been a human 3 times that I can remember. So I'm from what I understand, I'm really from another universe. My actual soul essence, my being. So for me, I'm just learning what it's like to be a human being, and also being a human being in a corrupted world is really messed up. So I remember my first two lives weren't very good. I know one of them I died in prison. So I have got flashbacks of that past life. Yeah, solitary confinement as far as I know too. It was like really, it was a really slow, whatever, sad experience. But anyway, I don't know what I did other than each time I've come in here, I have the same basic rules that I've lived by, which is don't conform. In other words, I'm not going to do something if it's what I think is incorrect, if it's not right. I'm just not doing it. I'd rather die. So that's probably what happened. Anyway, so yeah, I just kind of wrap up this video just saying, yeah, I'm going to try to do at least one a month now. But as you know, because we're doing this slow wake up now, originally the team that we were with and a bunch of other even Earthly Alliance, we were going to do a quick version. And from what I kind of understand is, I think we played that scenario out and it was just a little too much collateral or spiritual damage. It was just too shocking, because we were trying to get in here and quickly turn things around. But like I said, the higher density beings that are, I trust their judgment. They're, like I said, they're grade 12, grade 15 university students. Is kind of how I look at it, like I said, because we're all spiritual beings and we're all part of the same source. And they decided to say, whoa, you guys, listen, I know what you're doing, but you got to do it just a little more slowly, because they understood. I don't think they understood the situation until they came here, and they're observing. Just so you understand, we're being watched and we're being protected, and so, but they're still letting us go through this experience, not only to back us out of a bad situation, but also so we can learn, because as we know, there's always not only cellular memory, but there's spiritual memory too, which some people call it the Akashic records or too, but I'm just saying they're backing us out of this situation, and they're getting it so they can really remember. Like, this is this huge valuable lesson. Like, even for me, like I said, I come here, I don't have to learn how to be some of these 3D lessons. I don't have to learn them, but to learn how to help get out of this mess. This is crazy. This is a lot of work. This is a really, really hard module. I gotta admit, I obviously I was up for it when I decided to come in and help, but it's been a lot harder than I first thought. Let me put it that way. Anyway, I don't want to go on too much, but I'll try to just do kind of some more updates once a month. You don't have to hear the updates from me as far as what's going on in our political world and you'll see that things are slowly changing. They are, and people are waking up, because that was part of the process. It's a slow wake up now, rather than an abrupt one. And so, yeah, things are going to slowly get better and better, and more truth is going to come out, more disclosure. It's going to be shocking to a lot of people, but not as shocking as what we first planned. Anyway, so that's kind of my update for May. Yeah, June's going to be pretty interesting. We'll see how things play out. Like I said, I'm sort of watching, because my main job is just to anchor in a positive timeline. And remember how I always end my videos going, stay positive? Well, guess what? It worked. All these years of just stay positive, because that, you don't realize how powerful of beings we all are. We're anchoring a positive timeline. We are. We're basically saying no. We're saying no to negativity. We're going, nope, not going to do it. Sorry, I'm not going to participate. I'm just not going to do it. It's all to different degrees we're like that. But yeah, because we all draw a line in the sand of going, okay, I'll only go this far, but I'm not going to do that. I won't do this. You know what I mean? So just stick to that and just say, and be as positive as possible under these bad circumstances. So yeah, that's all I've got for now, and I'll maybe do an update. And I'll give you more information of what's going on off-world, maybe starting in June. It's pretty interesting what's going on off-planet. But then again, that's going to be coming out too. More of that truth of what's going on outside this realm. Anyway, okay, that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.